Hi, it's James Hunley at the Hunley Guitar Studio in Los Angeles, California. Teaching people all over the world now on the internet, but nobody from this picture. This is the island of Java. This is the Kawaijin volcano. Right at sunrise, we climbed the 8,000 feet up to the top in the dark, which was a lot of fun. It's the things that I do to my kids. I miss the traveling. I know everybody does, and hopefully we'll get back to that. But a way that we can travel is by sight reading. Sight reading is a wonderful thing to do on the guitar. There's two cool things about sight reading. One, it's music you've never heard before, usually, never seen. And two, you're allowed to make mistakes. It's okay. I mean, you're reading through a piece. But how do you read through the piece? That's the question. Everybody's always wondering, how do I practice my sight reading? Well, one thing I can tell you is you want to always start with the ability to read the notes within the sphere of your understanding. In other words, if you know G, F, E, D, C, you should know G, F, E, D, C, like this, pretty much the back of your hand. So that open position needs to be really, really comfortable. Also with sight reading, your hand position is going to be incredibly important. If we're stretching, if we have, like as in the chaconne, when you've got those long stretches, you want to make sure your hands are in position. So that's really important. And in the hand position always does the same thing. The thumb follows your second finger when you're playing. Moves a little bit towards the index finger for the bar. So let's get into some music that just came in last night. Keith brought this in. I'm going to share the screen real quick. I think I'm going to share the screen with you. Okay. So Keith brought this piece in. It's an Italian folk song. I don't actually know this piece. I think I've heard it before, but I don't know it. I didn't really even remember the tune. So that puts us in a place where it's real sight reading. What I suggested to Keith to do is that the first thing we're going to do on our music is look at it and pre-read it. Before you jump in the water, which I do all of the time, let's think about what our great teacher Aaron Shearer had said about pre-reading the piece of music, going through your mind what it is that's going on in it. For intermediate to beginning students, I want them to read that first line. First, I want you to, let's let's make sure we get this right. We need to find our key signature. We have 4 sharps, F, C, G, D. And we need every F, C, G, and D are going to be raised unless they tell us not to, with a natural sign. Also, let's take a look at the time signature, 3, 4. Now, I think we should go slightly bigger on this because my eyes aren't great. So I'm going to move this around a little bit. And remember, we're trying to sort of discover this piece. All right? So on the beginning, we see a little circle 2. So I want you to ignore all of that from the beginning. As a beginning student, I want you to read this in first position. In other words, right here. The first position is actually going to be second, but okay, we're going to be right at the bottom of the guitar. And I want you to practice counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. So that's how we would start working on that. Now, the other thing that I really recommend everybody do, which after I got the piece from Keith, I went ahead and worked on this, is number the frets. I mean the measures. Number the measures so you know where you're working, and if there's weird stuff going on, you say that you're going to read the piece, but you may want to learn the piece. You can say, oh, at measure number, whatever, 23, 25, something's weird. And so you can go back to it. And so we've done that. So I'm going to read a little bit of this piece first. This is for the more advanced players. 1, 2, and 3, and 2, 3, and 2, and 3, and 1. Measure 5, 1, 2, 6, 2, and 3, and 8. Here's 9. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. 11, 1 and 2, 12. 23. There was a weird part in there. 1, 26.